but I'm spotted. Darren is one of our associate assistant head teachers here, and he set up Moodle in our school, virtual learning environment, and he was also, just getting a note here, Darren, because there's something I didn't know about you. He was an early adopter of Moodle and was an active member of the Moodle community. He's commissioned open source Moodle blocks, modifications, and was involved in a team that brought Moodle to the pet show for the first time. And recently has been producing educational iOS apps under the highly creative original name of Sir Smith. So if you want,
thought of that one myself, by the way. So.
yeah. So if you're on there and you see something, that is Darren.
Okay, so I'm going to talk to you about using GPS in education. There's no getting around it really. You're going to need a device. It's going to cost some money unless the student's got something in their pocket, like an iPhone or an Android device. GPS devices cost around £60–70 upwards, so there is going to be some kind of upfront investment, unless, as I say, you use bring your own devices where the students bring their own. Now, most of us, when we think of GPS, we think of sat-nav, arguments in the car, and awkward situations. But GPS can be used in other ways as well. GPS can also be used to track what you are doing. And then you just overlay it over a map. So, not too far away. So I thought this was a nice use of GPS in art. This person's obviously had a GPS tracker on them, walked around their neighbourhood, and used the trail to draw an elephant. I think this is genius. This wasn't a student, by the way, this is like a proper paid artist. This is their job. Those of you that are fortunate enough to be friends with me on Facebook will know that I post a lot of stuff about, Darren Smith's on cycling, Darren Smith's on cycling, and this is the app I use. It's great, and it occurs to me that this could be utilised in PE, it could be utilised in PHSE, anything that there's a health, what's the word I'm looking for? Health benefit. All you do is at the beginning of your run, press start, at the end of the run you press stop, and it tracks where you've been. It automatically uploads, it's all free, it automatically uploads all of this onto a website, onto the Strava website. And it collects a lot of data, it shows you where your run has been. I don't run, this is my mountain bike stuff, but if you imagine this is a cross-country track at school, or it's your running track, it records how long it took you, and it builds the statistics over time as well, so it shows you how long you've run that year. But you can break it down into segments as well, so if you've got a cross-country track and you've got a sprint finish, you can see what you were like at the sprint finish, and you can see on there, because it gives you personal records, if that was your fastest time on that particular segment, you can set your own segments. Then it tells you the seconds and thirds, and then if you dig even deeper, this is all automatic, it gives you a leaderboard as well. Now, some students are obviously going to feel a little bit insecure about having their running times up on the internet, so you can make all of this private as well. You've got groups on the side, so you can just have running groups of peers also. And then you can drill down even more, and it automatically tracks every single time you've ran around that course, or you've cycled around that route. So you can look at your own performance as well. So if you're a PE student, or if you're a student that's just active, or you're trying to encourage students to be active, obviously we're all concerned about childhood obesity and things like that. It's a great automatic way of them logging their activity and their progress as well. Now, which student would not want to look like that? Truly inspirational. Geocaching does have this, perhaps correctly, has this image problem of it being about geeks with beards, which is fair enough, but it can be used in education quite effectively as well. If you don't know what geocaching is, I'll let you read that yourself. In terms of, in a nutshell, you put a box somewhere so it uses the coordinates to find it. I particularly like the idea of having travel books. These, you put them in the geocache, people come along and find it, and then they move it, and you know, it says on the travel book that it wants to go to France or something like that, and it works its way around all of these caches until it gets there. So I thought that would be a nice one if you're doing a school trip to France, 6 months beforehand, kids have a cache, and you see if the travel book actually gets to where you wanted to go to in France, you can meet it there. You know, obviously, using geocaching is obviously things in geography, but I've seen some schools use it in maths where they have coordinates and they have to crack the problem to get the coordinates, and then they go out in the school field and they get the cache, and then there's further instructions in there. Treasure hunts it's used for a lot, school trips as well. There's caches all over the country. If you're on a school trip, chances are there's a cache near you, so you know, you've got a GPS device that the students have them on them in their phones, on their Android devices or iPhones. There's no reason why they couldn't be looking for caches on the route. Also, if you're on a school trip, it's there, there's also Around Me and Yelp, which uses your geolocation data. It's just a free app. Open it up and it tells you if there's any historical buildings or if there's any other anything of local interest around you as well. Science, I've seen some schools use it for using geocaching for CSI type forensic clues, and one of our teachers is going to use it for data logging for habitats. You could, I suppose, use it for registration and get students to check in, but hopefully we won't get down to that level of Big Brother. Okay, thank you.